In the distant future, humanity had become part of an interstellar group called the Galactic Council. This council was made up of many species from different planets, all working together to keep peace and share resources across the galaxy. At first, humans were proud to be part of something so big. They thought they could learn a lot and teach others too. But over time, things changed. The other species started treating Earth like it didn't matter much. Humans were often ignored in meetings, and their ideas were brushed aside as if they weren't important. Daniel Carter worked for the United Earth Diplomatic Corps. His job was to represent Earth in discussions with the Council. He went to meeting after meeting, trying to get people to listen. But no matter how hard he tried, his words seemed to fall on deaf ears. Other species acted like Earth was just a small, unimportant planet that didn't have anything valuable to offer. Daniel felt frustrated but knew he couldn't give up. He believed in humanity's potential, even if others didn't. One day, during a council session, Daniel brought up a proposal about improving communication systems between planets. It was a good idea, one that could help everyone work better together. But before he could even finish explaining, Ambassador Kale, a tall reptilian creature with cold eyes, interrupted him. Perhaps Earth should focus on fixing its own problems instead of telling the rest of us what to do, Kale said with a smirk. The room filled with quiet laughter, and Daniel clenched his fists under the table. He wanted to argue back, but he knew it wouldn't change anything. The council had already made up its mind about humanity. Later that evening, Daniel met with Emily Dawson, a scientist who worked on advanced energy projects. She had been researching old records from Earth's early days of space exploration. While digging through forgotten files, she found something shocking. Long ago, humanity had developed technologies that were far ahead of what most species use today. These inventions included powerful engines, energy shields, and even weapons capable of defending entire planets. But somehow, these breakthroughs had been lost or hidden away over time. Emily showed Daniel some of her findings. There were blueprints for machines that could harness energy more efficiently than anything currently in use. There were also notes about experiments that had been abandoned because they were considered too risky or expensive. "We didn't forget how to innovate," Emily said excitedly. "We just stopped trying. And now, the council thinks we're weak." Daniel listened carefully, his mind racing with possibilities. If they could bring back even a fraction of those old technologies, they might be able to show the council just how strong humanity really was. But it wouldn't be easy. Many of the designs were incomplete, and building them would require resources and support that Earth didn't have. Still, Daniel couldn't ignore the spark of hope inside him. Maybe this was the chance they needed to remind the galaxy why humanity deserved respect. As they talked late into the night, Daniel and Emily began forming a plan. They knew it wouldn't be simple, and there would be risks along the way. But one thing was clear: humanity couldn't stay silent any longer. The Galactic Council had forgotten Earth's power, but Daniel and Emily were determined to make sure it remembered. The situation grew worse when the Galactic Council announced a decision that directly threatened Earth. They planned to move a massive orbital station dangerously close to Earth's orbit. The station, which served as a hub for interstellar trade and communication, was enormous and could interfere with Earth's satellites and global systems. If the station moved into position, it would disrupt communications, damage weather monitoring equipment, and put millions of lives at risk. When Daniel heard about the plan, he immediately raised his voice in protest during a council meeting. "This decision will harm Earth's people," he said firmly, standing up to address the assembly. "You can't just ignore the consequences." But his words were met with indifference. Ambassador Kale, the sane reptilian official who had mocked him before, leaned back in his seat and smirked. "Perhaps you should focus on your own planet before worrying about ours," Kale said dismissively. Other council members nodded in agreement, barely glancing at Daniel as he spoke. Frustrated and angry, Daniel left the meeting feeling powerless. He knew the council wouldn't listen to arguments alone. Humanity needed to do something big, something that would force the council to take notice. That evening, he visited Emily Dawson again. She had been working non-stop on her research, trying to piece together how some of Earth's old technologies could be rebuilt. When Daniel told her about the orbital station, she frowned. "We can't let them do this," she said. "But arguing won't stop them. We need to show them what we're capable of." Emily reminded Daniel of Project Phoenix, an old initiative from centuries ago. It involved building quantum reactors, powerful machines that could generate energy on a scale far beyond anything currently used by the Council. These reactors weren't just efficient, they were also versatile, able to power entire fleets or stabilize massive structures like the orbital station. The project had been abandoned long ago due to lack of funding and interest, but Emily believed they could revive it. Daniel agreed, and the two began making plans. They knew they couldn't do it alone, so they reached out to Alex Rivera, a skilled pilot who had connections across human colonies. Alex was skeptical at first. "You want to bring back ancient tech. Do you know how hard that is?" he asked. But when Daniel explained the stakes, Alex reluctantly agreed to help. "If this works, it'll change everything," Alex said. "But if it fails, the Council will crush us." They also recruited Maria Lopez, a hacker known for her ability to break into secure systems. Maria was hesitant to join at first, fearing the risks. But after hearing about the Council's disregard for Earth, she decided to lend her skills. "Someone needs to remind them we're not pushovers," she said with a determined look. As the team worked together, they faced many challenges. Some of the old blueprints for the quantum reactor were incomplete, and key components were missing. Others had been destroyed or lost over time. To make matters worse, someone within Earth's government seemed to be sabotaging their efforts. Supplies went missing, and false reports delayed their progress. Despite these obstacles, the group refused to give up. They scavenged parts from old ships, rebuilt damaged machinery, and tested their designs repeatedly. Finally, after weeks of relentless work, they completed a prototype of the quantum reactor. It wasn't perfect, but it worked. The team realized they now had a chance to prove themselves, not just to the Council, but to the entire galaxy. Instead of opposing the Council's decision outright, they came up with a bold idea: use the reactor to stabilize the orbital station themselves. If they succeeded, it would demonstrate humanity's ingenuity and strength in a way no one could ignore. With their plan in place, Daniel and his team prepared for the next step. They knew the road ahead would be dangerous, but they were ready. The Galactic Council had forgotten humanity's power, but soon they would have no choice but to remember. As the team worked tirelessly on Project Phoenix, they quickly realized they couldn't do everything alone. They needed help, not just from skilled individuals, but also from people who believed in their mission. Daniel reached out to Samantha Brooks, a former council liaison who had grown disillusioned with the Galactic Council's politics. Samantha had spent years working as a bridge between Earth and the Council, but she eventually quit after seeing how humanity was treated unfairly time and again. When Daniel explained their plan, Samantha hesitated at first. She knew how dangerous it was to challenge the Council directly. "If you fail, they'll come down hard on Earth," she warned. But after hearing about the orbital station and seeing the prototype of the quantum reactor, she decided to join them. "Someone has to stand up to them," she said. "And if this works, it could change everything." Samantha brought valuable insider knowledge to the group, including details about the Council's weaknesses and how they might react to humanity's defiance. Meanwhile, Alex Rivera used his connections across human colonies to gather support. He reached out to independent freighter captains who were tired of being pushed around by the Council. Many of these captains were willing to help, smuggling critical parts and materials to Earth despite the risks. One captain, named Laura Mendez, even offered her ship to transport some of the larger components. "We're all in this together," she told Alex. "If Earth falls, none of us are safe." Maria Lopez focused on finding the missing pieces of the puzzle. She hacked into old government databases, searching for any records related to Project Phoenix. Her efforts paid off when she uncovered forgotten files that detailed how the reactor was originally designed. These documents filled in gaps in the blueprints and gave the team new ideas for improving the prototype. Maria also discovered evidence of sabotage within Earth's government. Someone was deliberately trying to stop their work. Though they couldn't prove who was behind it, the discovery made the team more cautious. Despite their growing network of allies, the team faced constant challenges. The reactor required rare materials that were difficult to obtain, and some of the components were so outdated that no one knew how to repair them. Emily spent long hours tinkering with the machinery, often staying up all night to solve technical problems. "This isn't just about the reactor," she told Daniel during one late-night session. "It's about showing everyone what we're capable of." As word of their efforts spread, public opinion on Earth began to shift. People started paying attention to the Council's dismissive attitude and the dangers posed by the orbital station. News outlets covered the story, and protests erupted in major cities. Citizens demanded action, rallying behind Daniel and his team. President Laura Hayes addressed the nation, calling for unity while secretly authorizing the reactivation of Earth's dormant defense systems. Humanity wasn't going to back down without a fight. The final step was testing the reactor. The team chose an abandoned space station orbiting Earth as their test site. It was risky. If the reactor failed, it could cause an explosion that would destroy the station and potentially harm nearby satellites. But they had no choice. They needed to know if the machine would work before attempting to stabilize the orbital station. On the day of the test, the entire team gathered aboard the Aurora Asterisk, a retrofitted cruiser that served as their base of operations. Tension filled the air as Emily activated the reactor for the first time. At first, nothing happened. Then, slowly, the machine hummed to life, glowing with a soft blue light. The readings showed that it was generating power far beyond anything they had expected. Cheers erupted in the control room as the team realized they had done it. They had brought Project Phoenix back to life. With the reactor operational, Daniel and his team prepared for the next phase, using it to stabilize the rogue orbital station. If they succeeded, it would send a clear message to the Galactic Council. Humanity was not to be underestimated. The Council might have forgotten Earth's power, but soon they would remember. The day of the demonstration arrived, and Daniel Carter felt a mix of excitement and dread. The team had worked tirelessly to prepare for this moment, but nothing was guaranteed. If the quantum reactor failed, or worse, caused damage, they would not only lose the Council's trust, but also put Earth at risk. Still, Daniel reminded himself why they were doing this. It wasn't just about stopping the orbital station from endangering Earth. It was about proving that humanity still had the strength and ingenuity to stand alongside the galaxy's most advanced species. The demonstration took place aboard the Aurora Asterisk, the same retrofitted cruiser where the team had tested the reactor. The ship was equipped with cameras and communication systems to broadcast the event live to the Galactic Council. Representatives from dozens of species gathered in the council chamber to watch, their expressions ranging from curiosity to skepticism. Ambassador Kale sat at the center of the room, his cold eyes fixed on the screen as if daring humanity to fail. Back on the Aurora Asterisk, Emily Dawson stood near the reactor, her hands hovering over the controls. She had spent countless hours perfecting its design, and now it was time to see if it could handle the immense task ahead. Alex Rivera piloted the ship, keeping it steady while Maria Lopes monitored the readings on a nearby console. Samantha Brooks acted as a liaison, relaying updates to President Hayes and ensuring the Council received accurate information. Everyone had a role to play, and the weight of their mission hung heavy in the air. Daniel addressed the Council through the live feed. "Today, we aim to stabilize the rogue orbital station using technology developed by humanity," he said, his voice calm but firm. "This is not an act of defiance, but a demonstration of our potential. We hope it will remind everyone what humanity can contribute to the Alliance." As soon as Daniel finished speaking, Emily activated the reactor. For a few tense seconds, nothing seemed to happen. Then a low hum filled the ship, growing louder as the machine powered up. A brilliant blue glow surrounded the reactor, illuminating the control room. On the monitors, the team watched as streams of energy extended outward toward the massive orbital station. Slowly but surely, the station began to stabilize, its erratic movements calming under the reactor's influence. In the council chamber, murmurs spread among the delegates. Some leaned forward in their seats, clearly impressed by what they were seeing. Others exchanged skeptical glances, unwilling to believe that humanity could achieve something so remarkable. Ambassador Kale scowled, his tail flicking irritably, as he muttered to another reptilian official beside him. On the Aurora Asterisk, the team celebrated quietly. The reactor was working exactly as planned, and the orbital station was now stable enough to pose no threat to Earth or its satellites. Emily let out a shaky breath, her hands trembling slightly as she adjusted the controls. "We did it," she whispered, her voice filled with awe. Daniel nodded, pride swelling in his chest. They had done more than save Earth. They had shown the galaxy what humanity was truly capable of. When the demonstration ended, Daniel spoke again to the council. "This is just the beginning," he said. "Humanity has much to offer, and we are ready to work together as equals. But we will no longer accept being treated as inferior. Our strength lies not only in our technology, but in our determination to protect our home and contribute to the greater good." The council chamber erupted into heated discussion. Some representatives praised humanity's achievement, while others accused them of showing off or breaking rules. Despite the mixed reactions, one thing was clear: humanity had captured the galaxy's attention. The council could no longer ignore Earth's power or its resolve. As the broadcast ended, Daniel turned to his team. Their hard work had paid off, but he knew the real challenge was only beginning. The council might respect them now, but respect didn't always mean friendship. Whatever happened next, humanity was ready. The Galactic Council had forgotten Earth's strength, but thanks to Daniel and his team, they wouldn't forget again. The demonstration of the quantum reactor sent shockwaves through the Galactic Council, but not all reactions were positive. While some species praised humanity's ingenuity, others viewed the event as a challenge to their dominance. The council chamber buzzed with arguments as representatives debated what to do next. Ambassador Kale, his scaly face twisted in anger, slammed his fist on the table. "This is unacceptable," he hissed. "Earth has overstepped its bounds. Such actions cannot go unpunished." Kale's words sparked a heated discussion. Several species sided with him, claiming that humanity's bold move violated interstellar laws and disrupted the balance of power. Others, however, argued that Earth's achievement should be celebrated. A soft-spoken representative from a bird-like species named Avix spoke up, her voice calm but firm. "Perhaps we have underestimated humanity," she said. "Their technology is impressive, and their determination shows they are capable of great things. Should we not consider this an opportunity for collaboration rather than conflict?" The debate dragged on for hours, with no clear resolution. Meanwhile, back on Earth, news of the Council's reaction spread quickly. People were proud of what Daniel and his team had accomplished. A tension filled the air. Many worried that the Council might retaliate against Earth. President Laura Hayes addressed the nation, urging citizens to remain calm while quietly preparing for the worst. She authorized the reactivation of Earth's defense systems, ensuring that humanity would be ready if the Council decided to take hostile action. Daniel and his team knew they were walking a dangerous line. On one hand, they had proven humanity's strength and earned respect from some members of the Council. On the other hand, they had angered powerful species who saw Earth's resurgence as a threat. Samantha Brooks kept the team informed about the Council's internal discussions, warning them that Kale was pushing hard for sanctions, or worse, military action, against Earth. "We can't let them bully us, Emily said during one of their late-night meetings aboard the Aurora Asterisk. We've shown them what we're capable of. If they try to punish us, we'll fight back. Her words echoed the feelings of everyone in the room. Alex nodded, his expression serious. If it comes to a fight, we got your back, he said. But I hope it doesn't get that far. Maria Lopes spent her time monitoring communications between council members, looking for any sign of an impending attack. She also worked on strengthening Earth's cyber defenses, knowing that the council might try to sabotage their systems remotely. They won't catch us off guard, she muttered as her fingers flew across the keyboard. As days passed, the council finally reached a decision. They issued an ultimatum. Humanity must share all details of their advanced technology with the council or face isolation from the alliance. Ambassador Kale made the announcement himself, his tone icy. You have two options, he said. Cooperate fully or stand alone. The choice is yours. The ultimatum divided Earth's leaders. Some argued that sharing their technology was the safest path, while others believed it would leave humanity vulnerable to exploitation. President Hayes called an emergency meeting with Daniel and his team to discuss their options. What do you think we should do? She asked, her voice heavy with worry. Daniel hesitated before answering. He knew the risks of either choice, but he also knew one thing for certain. Humanity couldn't afford to appear weak. We don't have to give in to their demands, he said. But we also can't fight every species in the galaxy. Maybe there's another way, a third option. Emily leaned forward, her eyes bright with determination. What if we form our own coalition? She suggested. There are colonies and independent human settlements out there, plus species who are tired of the Council's arrogance. If we unite them, we could create something new, something stronger. The idea struck a chord with everyone in the room. It was risky, but it offered a chance to redefine humanity's place in the galaxy. Instead of bowing to the Council or fighting them directly, they could carve out their own path. For the first time in weeks, hope flickered in Daniel's heart. The Council had tried to intimidate them, but humanity wasn't afraid anymore. Whatever happened next, they would face it together. Daniel and his team threw themselves into creating a new plan. Instead of bowing to the Council's ultimatum or risking war, they decided to build their own coalition. They called it the Human Galactic Initiative, a group that would include Earth, human colonies, and sympathetic alien species tired of the Council's unfairness. It was a bold move, one that could either unite humanity and its allies or leave them isolated in a hostile galaxy. The first step was reaching out to human colonies scattered across nearby star systems. Many of these colonies had been neglected by both Earth and the Galactic Council, left to fend for themselves on distant planets. Alex Rivera volunteered to visit some of them, using his ship to travel quickly between systems. He brought with him recordings of the quantum reactor demonstration and messages from Daniel explaining their vision. At first, the colonies were hesitant. Some feared retaliation from the Council, while others doubted Earth's ability to lead. But when Alex showed them proof of what humanity had achieved, many agreed to join the initiative. We're stronger together, Alex told them. If we stand united, no one can push us around. Meanwhile, Emily and Maria focused on building relationships with alien species who had grown disillusioned with the Council. They reached out to smaller, less powerful species who often felt ignored or mistreated by the larger factions. One such species was the Aquari, aquatic beings who lived on ocean-covered worlds. Their representative, a graceful creature named Nira, listened carefully as Emily explained the initiative's goals. We don't want to replace the Council, Emily said. We just want to create a fairer system where everyone has a voice. Nira nodded thoughtfully. After consulting with her leaders, she agreed to support the initiative, bringing her people into the fold. Samantha Brooks used her experience as a former Council liaison to negotiate trade agreements and mutual defense pacts with other groups. She worked tirelessly, traveling between planets to finalize deals that would strengthen the initiative's position. Her efforts paid off when several independent freighter captains pledged their ships to transport supplies and resources for the coalition. "You've given us hope," one captain said. It's about time someone stood up to the Council. As the Human Galactic Initiative grew, so did its influence. News of the movement spread across the galaxy, drawing attention even from within the Council itself. Some representatives began questioning whether isolating Earth was truly wise. Avix, the bird-like ambassador who had defended humanity during the Council debates, openly supported the initiative. "Perhaps it is time for change," she said during a meeting. "The Council cannot continue ignoring those it claims to serve." Despite this progress, tensions remained high. Ambassador Kale and his allies still viewed the initiative as a threat and pushed for sanctions against anyone who joined. But Daniel and his team refused to back down. They held a public ceremony aboard the Aurora to officially launch the Human Galactic Initiative, inviting all members to attend. The event was broadcast live, showing the galaxy that humanity and its allies were ready to chart their own course. In his speech, Daniel spoke directly to the Council. "We do not seek conflict," he said, "but we will no longer accept being treated as inferior. Together, we will build a future where every species has a voice, and where strength is measured not by power, but by unity." The Council watched silently as the ceremony concluded. Though some members were angry, others couldn't deny the initiative's potential. Humanity had proven it wasn't afraid to challenge the status quo. And now, the galaxy was watching. Whatever happened next, one thing was certain: the Galactic Council could never forget humanity's power again. The launch of the Human Galactic Initiative marked a turning point for humanity. The coalition quickly grew, drawing in human colonies, independent freighters, and alien species who shared their vision of fairness and equality. Earth was no longer alone. It had allies who believed in its potential and were willing to stand by its side. Together, they began building a new network of trade routes, communication systems, and defense pacts that operated independently of the Galactic Council. Daniel Carter watched as the initiative gained momentum, feeling a mix of pride and relief. They had taken a huge risk by defying the Council, but it had paid off. Humanity's strength wasn't just in its technology. It was in its ability to bring people together. Alex Rivera kept busy coordinating supply runs between planets, ensuring that every member of the coalition had what they needed. Maria Lopes worked on securing their digital networks, making sure the Council couldn't sabotage their efforts. And Emily Dawson continued refining the quantum reactor, finding new ways to use its power for the benefit of everyone in the initiative. The Council, however, didn't stay silent for long. Ambassador Kale and his supporters launched a campaign to discredit the Human Galactic Initiative, calling it reckless and dangerous. They claimed that humanity's actions would destabilize the galaxy and urged other species to cut ties with the coalition. But their words carried less weight than before. Many beings across the galaxy had seen how the Council treated smaller, weaker species, and they admired humanity's courage in standing up to them. Some Council members even began questioning Cal's approach. Avix, the bird-like ambassador, openly criticized the Council's hostility toward the initiative. "They are not our enemies," she said during a heated debate. "They are offering us a chance to improve. Why do we resist change when it could make us stronger?" Her words sparked further division within the Council, weakening its grip on the galaxy. Back on Earth, President Laura Hayes addressed the nation once more, thanking Daniel and his team for their bravery. "We have shown the galaxy that humanity is capable of greatness," she said. "But this is only the beginning. Together, we will build a future where Earth is respected and valued, not because we demand it, but because we earn it." As time passed, the Human Galactic Initiative became a force to be reckoned with. Its members thrived, sharing resources and knowledge in ways the Council never allowed. Trade flourished, scientific advancements accelerated, and alliances deepened. Humanity's role in the galaxy shifted from being overlooked to being admired. Other species looked to Earth, not as a weak planet, but as a leader in innovation and cooperation. One evening, Daniel stood aboard the Aurora Asterisk, staring out at the stars. Emily joined him, holding a cup of coffee. "Do you think we did the right thing?" she asked softly. Daniel smiled, his gaze fixed on the distant lights. "I know we did," he replied. "We reminded the galaxy what humanity is capable of. And now, no one can ignore us." Emily nodded, her eyes reflecting the same determination that had driven them from the start. "This isn't the end," she said. "It's just the beginning." And she was right. The Galactic Council might have forgotten humanity's power, but thanks to Daniel, Emily, and their team, it would never forget again. Humanity had found its